Georgia's attack on South Ossetia late on the 7th of August triggered a Russian invasion, which in turn sparks the biggest crisis in East-West relations since the Cold War. But restricted access to the territory has hampered attempts to investigate what really happened there, until now. When I arrived in the capital, Tskhinvali, I heard numerous eyewitness accounts of how civilians died in the Georgian attack. Taya Sitnik's 21-year-old son Georgi was killed by a Georgian tank shell. She says it was fired directly into her apartment block from just a few yards away.
The firing started not from machine guns, but from heavy artillery. We realized it wasn't a joke. We sat here and thought it would finish, but it just got stronger. This is where my son's blood was. The neighbors have cleared it up now.
Marina Kocheva says her car was hit repeatedly by Georgian tank fire as she tried to flee Tskhinvali. The international investigative organisation Human Rights Watch has criticised both sides. It accuses Georgia of indiscriminate use of force in South Ossetia, a violation of the Geneva Conventions, and believes it may also be guilty of directly targeting civilians, a serious war crime.
There was no intent on Georgia troops to fire on civilians. These are our citizens. Our troops are clearly trained to protect civilians.
He says much of the destruction in Tskhinvali was caused by Russian shelling and airstrikes, and Georgia has taken Russia to the International Criminal Court for allegedly allowing the ethnic cleansing of Georgian villages by its Ossetian allies. We saw evidence of systematic destruction there. Britain, an ally of Georgia, now supports calls for an investigation of both sides' actions.
I think the Georgian action was reckless. I think the Russian response was disproportionate and wrong. Each side's actions need to be investigated, but they mustn't occlude the fact that a neighbour with 800,000 people in uniform then invaded a sovereign country that's recognised as part of the United Nations.
But it's the Ossetian story that's not been heard in the West until now, and as access to the territory improves, demands to know what the Georgians did there are bound to grow. Tim Hewell, BBC News, Tskhinvali.